The Dolphins start the season 0-2 for the first time in 5 years, as far as I remember. I'm pretty sure it was 5 years. It was 5 years. The season of 2020. They got the first win in Week 3 against the Jacksonville Jaguars on the Thursday Night Football. And one of those losses was against the New England Patriots. But this is 2025 season. This is under Tua. This is with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And we have a defensive secondary that is just piss poor and short-handed. And we have an offensive line that is injured, not ready, and it just looked defeated. And like I said with this secondary, right? We have a secondary that is really injured prone. With that being said, it is no excuse. The defense failed miserably. The defense was horrible in this game. There's a lot of reasons what went wrong in this game, okay? Let's start with the defense. First and foremost, the Dolphins kind of made history. At least I believe so. There was a graph up in the screen that the Dolphins have allowed this many scores in a row in a defensive possession. At the time was 11, because the first 2 drives for the Patriots, they were long drives and they were all scoring touchdowns. Borregales, who's from the U, by the way, missed both PATs. So it was 12-0. It was from Matt Collins that scored a touchdown from Drake May, and Kayshon Boutte with a 16-yard pass. And my God, that defensive back looks horrible. At that time, that became 12, I believe. 12. That was 12 in a row given up by the Dolphins defense. Now, if you're going to count this season, you're going to count 9. But if you're counting 9 and you're going to say things like Miami TVG is wrong, this is 9 in a row, not 12 in a row, you have not been paying attention. The Dolphins next drive is a touchdown drive. Thankfully, it looked like the Dolphins that we knew and loved. There were some good plays from Tua that throws to Jalen Waddle for 18 yards. The extra point is good. Let me just say things about Tua real quick, because I'm forgetting a key points before I move on. There were clearly some feelings hurt from the Dolphins fans in Hard Rock Stadium, and I'm just like, the thing is, with the way how our franchise has been going the past 25 seasons plus, so much frustration has finally been released. It feels like, with the way how the Dolphins was handled last season, I think the worst of the Dolphins fans has finally been exposed. There was a banner. Somebody paid the pilot of the freaking plane with the words, "Fire Greer, Fire McDaniel." That was flown over Hard Rock Stadium. They actually did it. Go look it up. I'm not joking you. I couldn't see for myself because I'm nowhere near it. It was shown. The guy literally paid somebody to have that banner up flying over Hard Rock Stadium. That's how you know something is wrong with this team. The fact that somebody would go this far to have a banner flying over the stadium, especially with the way how this game was started. In fact, with the way how the season is started. Tua throws a horrible interception to Hawkins. Thankfully, well, I shouldn't say thankfully because it didn't matter at the end. There was an offside and hold, which will offset the penalties. So it'll still be third down, but it's still a horrible throw to Achane. And that incomplete pass really set the tone for the Dolphins fans in that stadium with the loud boos. Very loud boos from Dolphins fans. They can't stand Tua. With the way how he played under pressure, with the way how his decision-making works, they clearly do not like this quarterback no more. They have turned their backs on Tua. They really want Quinn Ewers or Zach Wilson to be the number one. First off, Zach Wilson might not be our number one. Okay? He will not be. He was terrible with the Jets. He will probably be terrible with the Dolphins too. Quinn Ewers, on the other hand, might have a future. But the bottom line is this. The feelings is clearly shown in that stadium from the Dolphins fans. They are frustrated, as well as I'm extremely frustrated that nothing is resolved. And the way how he played today, I don't know if it justifies it. The first couple possessions, especially the very first one, yeah, at that time it was justified. The way how the Dolphins fans react to the interception and an incomplete pass, it's horrible what's going on. And in the next possession, it was a touchdown drive from freaking New England. Dolphins had a good drive, like I said. It was a deep pass to Jalen Waddle for 18 yards, touchdown. But then 15 plays in this Patriots drive, it was a long drive because our defense can't do their jobs. It is a field goal from Borregales for 22 yards. Now that makes 13. Fuck, my iPad died, so I'm going to have to make a switch. That makes 13 straight possessions that the Dolphins have given up a touchdown. Okay? 13 straight possessions that the Dolphins have given up a touchdown. Give me a second right here. I'm going to switch devices. 13? That sounds a bit over the fetch. Where did number 13 come from? Going back to week 18, Dolphins and Jets on a 32-20 loss to New York in MetLife. Since week 18, third quarter, that the Dolphins were giving up a scoring. I am not joking with you. If you don't believe me, two things. One, you're not paying attention. You are not paying attention to what's really going on with the defense. And number two, either they forgot about it, which I don't blame them, or we're stuck up to this season. Either way, they like to play the blame game on an offense when there's something more that's going wrong with this team. It's not just the offense, it's the whole team, and that includes the Dolphins defense. But anyway, they gave up a field goal, like I said, but then the next drive was some 2023 Dolphins-like possession, which was a 22-yarder to Tyreek Hill, which is pretty cool, and then a 29-yard pass soon after for Devon Achane goes right up the middle to make it a 14-15 game for the Patriots. They're only up by a point. They were going to go for two, but they got caught with the flag, and they have to settle for a field goal. Now, technically, kneeling ends that streak. However, it was not a stop by any means. It was not a stop at all. Third quarter coming out, it was a field goal scoring possession, but it involves a 47-yard pass to Tyreek Hill. It was underthrown. Yes, it was underthrown. But Tyreek Hill caught that pass from 30 yards plus. That's all that should matter to everybody. That should matter that he caught the pass from Tua to make this scoring even possible. That should be what matters. However, they did not get They did not go down more. They did not go for the touchdown. They had to settle for a field goal, which would give the Dolphins the lead. 17-15. This is their first lead of the season. Week 2, that's not that long. We have never led in week 1. In fact, we get every possession that the Colts had, we gave up a score. Finally, 3 and outs. 3 and outs we given the Patriots. We sacked them, and they punted the football. Twice, by the way, because the first time it was a penalty on New England to push them back even more. And this was a better punt than the initial one. Fucking bullshit. This 9-play drive, 5 minutes and 36 seconds. It was a good possession. Tua's deep throw to Jalen Waddle for 23 yards. That is completed. I feel like it was incomplete. Patriots had the right to challenge this, but the call stands. I feel like that was incomplete from Waddle, but it was still a completed pass. But more passes from Tua, and they're going down the field. Nice. But the O-line, I will say this, is still horrible. And this is where I'm so anal about the O-line. Because if we had a really solid O-line, not injury-prone O-line, maybe Tua would be better under pressure. Until then, he is still horrible under pressure. That part I can say about Tua. He has not been good under pressure. I've never complimented this pressure decision making. It's not good, and it will not be good for now. So at the end, they had to settle for a field goal. 2015 is a scoring. The next drive for the Patriots is a touchdown. 55-yard pass from Drake May to Ramondre Stevenson. 55 yards ultimately leads to a freaking score. And then the Patriots recapture the lead to make it 23-20. It's a mess what's going on. It really is a mess what's going on with our defense. It's horrible. Tua gets sacked in the next possession. Now I'm gonna be so pissed off. We stopped the Patriots from going. Then there was a horrible snap from the Patriots O-line. It was a fumble, but Bradbury for the Patriots was able to get it back. It was a bad snap by the Patriots. They punted. Right? They punted the football. Malik Washington bobbles it a little bit. He was able to gain control of it. He goes right, gets hit, but he stays up and went left, and nobody was there. Malik Washington to the house, touchdown, Dolphins, 27-23, and it's the first punt return touchdown in 5 years. Jakeem Grant was the last Dolphin to return a punt for a touchdown. That was against the LA Rams. Everybody remember that one? That was Tua's, I believe that was Tua's second or first start of his NFL career. That was I'm pretty sure that was his first. And he won that game. He won that game against the Rams. Jakeem Grant was that punt returner that scored in that game against the LA Rams. That was the last time the Dolphins have scored a punt return touchdown until now. Malik Washington did that, and we recaptured the lead 27-23, and it was awesome. What could possibly go wrong after that? Fucking kickoff return touchdown for the Patriots. Are you dead ass? Antonio Gibson returns the favor for the Patriots for 90 yards after Malik Washington's 74-yard punt return touchdown immediately returns for a kickoff touchdown. Are you dead ass? Like, you can't make this shit up. Every freaking time the Dolphins had something going, immediately it's been lost from a moment like this. Heart shattered, ripped from our chest extremely quickly. You can't do a Dolphin like the Dolphins can. You just can't. You really just can't. So, we complain about the O-line, we complain about our defense, we can complain about our special teams. There's another problem right there. And it shouldn't be our problem because our special teams has been really solid so far. The next drive, what was seen to be promising, that goes all the way, well, I shouldn't say promising, ends miserably, I would say. Achane was good. He was really good, right? Then Tua got sacked. 4th and 9, he throws it to Mapu. Just throws directly. He throws directly at the middle linebacker of the Patriots. Throws it directly at the Patriots defense. He wasn't even throwing good. In fact, I think that same possession, he had Tyreek Hill wide open and he miserably overthrew it. You can clearly see Tyreek Hill's reaction. I really don't think he wants to play with Tua no more. Then Tua gets sacked. Then Tua gets picked off. Oh my God, it's horrible. The next drive, Patriots hit a field goal, 53-yard field goal from Borregales, 53 yards. And the next Dolphins possession, Achane was seemingly won the game. He was out of bounds. He was just out of bounds, and I knew it right away. I saw the foot hit the white. As people are celebrating this touchdown, I did not, because I saw that he was out of bounds. And then, when we needed Tua the most, he gets sacked twice in a row. Our O-line failed. And I'll say this, Tua failed too. I'm sorry, he did fail. And I'm not going to be that person to jump the wagon and say it's all Tua's fault. A lot of people are single-handedly blaming this on Tua. They have not, and I'm going to scream at this, they have not been paying attention. They're not paying attention. Okay? It's the team effort. A team loss. It's not a quarterback loss. It's a team loss. The defense was horrible. The special teams, I can't believe, was horrible. You give up a 90-yarder after you getting a 74-yarder. Your O-line can't protect the quarterback. And as a result, Tua's awful pressure decision-making leads to multiple turnovers. I'm sorry, one interception. He had 2 interceptions. One was nullified because it was an offsetting penalties. He had 2 interceptions if that wasn't counted. I mean, holy shit. The disconnect of the fan base and the front office is just so unbelievable. Patriots win 33-27. At home, by the way. For the first time in 6 years, by the way. We had them right there, and oh my goodness. It's one thing to do it with Buffalo, but the Patriots? Another one of divisional rivals? Multiple penalties. I mean, fucking hey, so what if there's penalties? Oh, and then there was a missed penalties where Chop Robinson was being grabbed, got hurt. No fucking call. So what? That looks clean. But if this was somebody else, if this was Mahomes, Allen, anybody, that's an automatic flag. Or the best defensive player, have that situation. Let's say Richard Sherman in his prime. If Richard Sherman was caught like that in his prime, that's a flag. You get what I'm trying to say? It's so abysmal. It really is abysmal. And again, the refs are not the reason we lost this game because of a lot of reasons, okay? It's a team loss. The Patriots found the way. And by the way, their defense, the Patriots defense, were the Colts defense. You know why? Because the coaching staff did not make adjustments. They have not made any adjustments. In fact, the playing style with the protection was worse. There's your problem. There's no adjustment to this offense. When are we gonna say? I mean, okay. People are frustrated with Mike McDaniel. I am too frustrated with Mike McDaniel. I'm frustrated with the front office, and people are forgetting Anthony Weaver's defense was not good at all. His defense is horrible at the moment. We've given up 13 scoring possessions in a row, going us all the way back to third quarter of week 18 up in the Meadowlands. When are we going to say it's also, when are we going to hold him accountable? And on the top of all this, when are we going to hold our offensive coordinator accountable? He's part of the problem too. People are going after Mike McDaniel, not only for the right reasons, but for the wrong reasons too. I'm not, and let me just say this too, as a disclaimer, I am not defending Mike McDaniel. I believe his playing decisions, decision makings for the offense, I think were just, they're mixed. There were some horrible decisions, there were some great decisions. But the offensive coordinator also has a responsibility for making offensive plays that goes to Mike McDaniel. When are we going to hold him accountable? We're holding Grier accountable, but Ross, your thumbnail, by the way, is not doing a darn thing. If he is still on this team, you need to sell this team. It's week 2. It's only week 2. Yeah, but again, it's year 10 with this guy in SGN. Year 10. And year 4, Mike McDaniel. When does it stop? 0-2 to start the season, and could very well likely be 0-3. I predicted that the Dolphins were going to beat the Colts and the Patriots, and they didn't do any of those things. My prediction, it might be the only correct decision going into Thursday night. They have a short rest going into Thursday night against Buffalo, which, by the way, Buffalo is 2-0. No surprise there. And no surprise, they kick the shit out of the Jets at MetLife. They kick the shit out of the Jets. (0-3) to start the season. I'm calling it right now. And Tua, the Dolphins, at Highmark Stadium, the old Highmark Stadium, because I think this might be the last time we're going to play at that specific stadium, because I think the Buffalo Bills are, I think they're building a new stadium with the canopy that protects fans from the cold weather and the snow. Like, oh, but the Dolphins had the protection from the sunlight. Get the fuck out of here with this hypocrisy. It's so stupid. Anyway, I expect this team to go 0-3, and it's not even close. I think we're going to get Drake May's a good quarterback, but imagine Josh Allen against the Dolphins. We are screwed. I'm done talking about this game. I'm done talking about the Dolphins right now. If there's any consolation, it's on Thursday night. It's on Thursday night. Put us out of misery very quickly, and enjoy the rest of the Sunday watching other football games. And also with these injuries, my God, please get through this game healthy. That's all I'm going to leave it at that. All right, I'm done. Have a good rest of the day.